Hey Lester, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Olwyn. I'm good. How are you doing today?
Very good. A week has flown by so fast, isn't it? I mean, it's like just the other day we were talking to Coach Picky, right?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
I mean, a week is so fast now.
Time flies, I must say, really. Well, we have a
Right.
very interesting guest this evening, right?
Oh, yes.
Great. So,
Are we all
well, we're
ready?
back again with TNG Live and TeaTalk on TNG, but this time we have a very interesting guest with us who is all the way from the United States of America. And she is already online, but we're going to admit her in a few minutes. But right now, Lester, how's the weather at your side? Is it hot?
Oh, it's sweating. I mean,
You're
it's
like
quite hot
what?
out here.
You're like probably 2 or 3 kilometers away from me, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's very hot, man. It's really, really hot in Dubai now. Summer has kicked in and it's getting hotter and hotter by the day. All said and done, I think we're
Exactly.
all set. We're sitting in our environment, which is cool. Nestor's in his studio. I'm sitting in my house, and we're going to be hosting a guest all the way from Connecticut, and she's going to be coming on very soon. So, Lester, shall I start talking about who do we have today, or would you like to do the talking, or let me know what do you want to do next?
Right. Let me introduce
Go ahead,
our
Lester.
guest.
Over to you.
Thank you. Right. So, hello, everyone. Tuning into Tea Talk with TNG. Let's first wish you a very good morning, a good evening, or good night. Here with us is a special guest all the way from Ohio, USA. Introducing to you the one and only Dr. Tania Simmons, founder and CEO of Healing for the Nations, Inc., healthcare practitioner, global entrepreneur, keynote speaker, author, and life coach. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dr. Tania Simmons.
Let me see if she's ready to come in. I think she
All
was
set.
needing a few minutes, but she's here with us. So we'll admit her, let her join us, and then we'll say hello to her. TNGlive for you. Oh, she's here already. She's in the car. Tanya, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank
I see
you.
that you're in the car. I hope you have a good connection because we are live, right? So I hope you are okay on your connection on the road.
Yes, I'm parked. It's fine, I think. So we'll see. But yes.
First
Yes.
of
Hi, it's
all,
so good to see you.
first of all, let me tell you that you're looking lovely this morning.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And then,
You are too. You are
well,
too.
for
Thank you
me,
so
believe
much.
it or not, I just slept. It's the weekend and I woke up, so I'm not in the best shape and form, but I'm trying to get there. But say hi to my good partner in crime, Lester, who's sitting out the studio.
Hello,
Oh,
Dr.
wonderful.
Tanya. Hi.
Hi, Lester. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. And how are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now that you have you with us, we've just got about 45 to 50 minutes to grill you a little bit. When I say grill, it's done in a nice way. So don't worry, we're not going to get you really and put you in a corner. But we've been waiting to speak to you because we have a lot of people who've been waiting to talk, to listen to what we have to talk this evening. And yes, I've got you on. I think you're freezing. You have a bit of an issue with the net or the data that you have, I guess, because you suddenly freeze in between. But you're okay.
Uh-oh. Okay, good. Good,
All right.
good. Well, if it happens, just let me know, okay? We'll work it out.
Your audio is breaking up. It's actually pretty bad.
Mm, okay. Let me see what I can do. I think I can move to another area. Okay. Am I live right now? Hope not.
Yeah, you are live. The problem is that your
I
yeah,
am.
yeah, your video keeps freezing and so does the audio.
Oh no. Well, let me leave for a minute and then I'll sign back in, okay?
Sure. We'll wait for you.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we'll just have a chat, Lester and me.
All right, that sounds good. I'll be right back.
Sure. All right, everybody. As you saw, of course, Tania is in America. She's in Ohio. She's in her car, so we do have a bit of a problem because of network issues. I'm sure you all understand that. So she's going to try and get to a better area, probably to some venue where she can sit and get Wi-Fi on, and she'll be back very soon. So meanwhile, Lester did talk about her a little bit. Yes, Tania, she's known as Dr. Tania Simmons. She is a CEO. She runs a company. She's a healthcare practitioner. She's a global entrepreneur, a keynote speaker, author, and life coach. It was hard for me because when I introduced her a few weeks ago, I think about a month ago at an event in Dubai, I actually found it hard to read so many titles for Dr. Tania that I had to ask her, do you have anything else left? Because she's got even more to this actually. But we've just picked up the main ones. She's also a proud nurse at heart first, by the way. So she is a nurse. She's demonstrated history of working in hospitals, fueling her current humanitarian work worldwide as the founder and CEO of Healing for the Nations Incorporation. So we are going to be coming in soon. I think we have one of our admins who was also with us over here, but he's also gone for a little while. We'll get him back also to talk to him so that we could have a chat with someone in the meanwhile. And yeah, so coming back to Dr. Tania. So Dr. Tania, she is a transformational life coach, helping train, educate, and equip people to elevate them from their potential to their purpose by identifying limiting beliefs, overcoming them, and releasing them into their full purpose in areas such as leadership, business, and finances. So she wears many hats, as you must have heard by now. So she is going to be talking to us very soon. You'll have to bear with us for a little while till we get her back online. And then after that, we are going to be talking to Dr. Tania Simmons. So Lester, what have you got planned for this evening, Lester?
Oh, well, you've forgotten to mention that Dr. Tania is also a transformational life coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, helping train, educate, and equip people to elevate them from their potential to their purpose by identifying limiting beliefs, overcoming them, and releasing them into their full purpose in areas such as leadership, business, and finances. So she's an all-in-one.
Yeah, that's why I said multiple hats. Well,
Exactly.
we've got Duan. Let's admit him and have a chat with Duan. He's in Australia. It's pretty late for him, actually. He is, I think for him, it's past midnight, if I'm not mistaken. He's just logging in, this young, good-looking guy who's in Melbourne, Australia. Duan, are you there, my friend? Can you hear us? Can you see us?
Hello, Dwayne.
Well, he's quiet too. He seems to be in the woods or in the green somewhere. Hey, Duan, can you hear us? Can you see us? Can you hear us, Duan?
Oh, he says he can hear us and see us, but he's in bed.
Oh, he's in bed. Okay. Would you like to be here and be online, or would you like to go off? Because we've brought you in to have a chat with you, but I guess you're not going to be chatting with us, if I'm right. Okay. We've got Tania back. I'm going to admit her. So let's take it forward with Tania. All right, Tanya's back again. She's coming in a second. Let's hope things are good now and the net is clear and we could have a chat with her.
So, Alvin, what have you been up to today?
Nothing much, Lester. It's just been a nice lazy day. It's Friday. It's our weekend. So I've been enjoying myself, relaxing.
It looks like you've slept a lot.
Yes, for once I did sleep actually because I woke up pretty early and I wanted to sleep a little in the afternoon to be fresh in the evening, but I'm still sleeping.
Okay, I think we're okay now.
I think it
hope.
sounds better. I hope it's better because Wi-Fi, by the way, is a bit of a problem. Sorry, Wi-Fi would be better than data sometimes, depending on where you are and how good a connection you have. Well, Tanya, welcome back again. Since time is running out and we're already 15 minutes into the live talk that's going on, I think we might as well start, with what we've planned all along.
Let's
So
do
I'm
it.
going to. Can you hear us, Tanya?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
That's good. That's good.
Are you using a headset probably? Because sometimes even that causes a lot of interference. Yeah, she's freezing.
I don't have a headset. I'm so sorry to hear you.
You're freezing pretty bad again. You just froze for a couple of seconds.
Oh no. Ah!
You need to actually be well. Are you at home? Because if you're home, I think it's better indoors because you would be able to then get onto your Wi-Fi connection, which I'm sure is a lot faster. But we're going to try
Yeah,
with.
I'm out. I'm not at home, so I'm sorry about that. But we'll just, if you want to maybe see how this goes, or we could reschedule. I don't know, but
No, we
let's
might as
take it
well
forward,
continue.
Alvin. Yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, because we have a
okay.
schedule
All right.
that's full till mid-June. That's why. So
Oh
let's go
my
ahead.
gosh.
Lester, I'm
Oh my
gonna
gosh.
hand over to you, Lester. Maybe you can start with Dr. Tania, and maybe you start with the first question that you have, Lester, so that we can take this and
Right.
move on.
Hi, doctor. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, Lester. I'm
I think
good.
you're
Nice
sipping
to
your
meet you.
hot coffee, is it?
I am. I am.
Oh, okay. That's nice. So, Dr. Simmons, we would like to know what you do, your mission, and about the different roles you play. I mean, you've got so many titles attached to you that we would like to know briefly, what you basically do.
Yeah, I understand your question. So, first of all, I want to say thank you to all your viewers. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being patient with the technical issues this morning. Thank you for that. I'm honored to be with you all the way in Dubai from the USA now. I love your country. I want to come back as quickly as possible. So, I love it. So, thank you, first of all. To answer your question, my name is Dr. Tania Simmons, and I'm not all about titles. I'm not all about clout, but I'm all about calling. And so, what for me is, I founded Healing for the Nations, and I'm the founder, and I believe in, we do a lot of humanitarian relief work. We do a lot of work through Pakistan, Africa. We're starting in Africa, Nepal. We're going to partner with Greece. We're going to go into some other areas that
Right.
are in need of medical supplies, humanitarian relief work, food campaigns. We've helped over 500 families in Pakistan through the COVID pandemic, and multiple other initiatives. So that's my focus. But in healthcare, I've been a healthcare provider for 27 years.
Wow.
And in the area of my background is neuroscience oncology and ENT oncology. And so it's all about taking care of people well, loving people, serving people well with a spirit of excellence. So, yeah, so that's what I
Wow.
do. And I also do a lot of global empowerment and things of that nature. So I'm also authoring a book and doing workshops and things like that. So yeah, just giving back and empowering other people.
I know.
Wow.
And then you put the makeup on.
You summed it up very well, Dr.
Oh, thank
Simmons.
you. Thank
And
you.
Oh my goodness.
well, you've been a nurse
Yes.
at heart, and
Yes.
we would like to know, the moment in life that made you decide in dedicating your life mission to serving the people.
Yeah, I can tell you that really quickly, actually. It's kind of like a Kairos moment.
Right.
We have Kairos moments in our lives. What that means is moments that define, it's a real definitive moment in your life. For me, it was around the age of 6. I remember that very clearly. I've always known that I wanted to help people. You know, I've ran into people that really, they didn't have a lot of vision, they didn't have mission. And I was always confused about that because for me, it's been so definitive and so clear since the age of 6 what I was called to do. I know that sounds funny, but it's true. And so I
Wow.
remember being in my grandmother's kitchen, and we would always bake brownies, you know. And
Right.
she would turn around and she asked me, "What do you want to do when you're older?" And I remember stepping off the pedestal, the stool that she had in her kitchen, and turning around. And I was kind of a spunky little girl, I think. And I turned around and I said, I wanna take care of people well, you know. I want to be a doctor. And so I said some other things, and those things I've accomplished. And so I think it's important to have a vision, to have a clear vision, and action goals of where you want to go and what you want to do. So since the age of 6, I've known. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, knowing that at the age of 6, is really opening up yourself. Wow, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Alvin, over to you.
Now you put me on the spot, yeah? All right. So, Dr. Tanya, I think we're not going to be serious about what you do and keep talking only about what you do. We also want to know a little bit about yourself. You know, I mean, yes, we know you're very busy. You travel a lot. You're into doing. Yeah, I think you do a lot of talk shows and webinars and events and all these kind of things. But what do you do in your free time? Is what you know. I mean, we're going to come back, to discuss your professional life. But as a family person, I know what exactly do you do besides your busy schedule?
Mhm. Well, I'm glad you asked me that because honestly, family is at the core of everything for me. Without family, I don't think you have a lot, to be honest. And, at the end of the day, what do you want to be known for? What's your legacy? What do you want to leave to the next generation? I know, Alan, you've got family. You feel the same way. You love your family. You love your children. You would give up anything for them. And so I feel the same way. I have 3 children. I was widowed at a very young age.
Oh,
And so I was widowed. Yeah, I
Oh,
lost my first husband at the age of 22. So I had 2 children at the time. Hannah is 28. She's absolutely gorgeous. She is married and they have 5 children. Yeah, so I'm a
wow.
grandmother of 5 little girls.
my
And
My
goodness.
God.
You
they're
said grandmother
twins.
of 5 little girls.
Yes. Yeah, they're all girls. And
Wow.
I want these girls to be leaders and shakers and history makers. These girls are going to rock the world. And so I speak life into them every day that I can. And I help them. I empower them because they're the next generation. It's important to have that generational mindset when you're dealing with family, but when you're dealing with others, because it is one day I'm going to pass away. So what am I going to leave as my legacy? They're my legacy. So if I gain the whole world and I do all these workshops and I do all these conferences and then I neglect my family, then what good is that going to be at the end of the day, right? So no, that's not
Absolutely.
how we do business. It's not how we do leadership. So we have to make time for our family. I spend time. I was over there. We eat dinner together. We relax. We watch movies. We have fun, and everyone is allowed to be who they are. They're allowed to be themselves and accepted and loved, and they find a place of belonging. So I think that's what family is all about. And if you can create that kind of environment in your family, I think that's a win. That's an absolute win. I also have a son who's 27 and he's amazing. And then I have a little girl, we call her Miss Ava Grace. She is 11 years old and she's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. So I'm very blessed in that way. I'm very, very blessed. So, yep.
Well, well,
Wow.
for our viewers, I must say I've met you in person, and I had no clue that you had 5 grandkids and grown-up kids as well. I mean, You've kept yourself very well, I must say. You look, looking at you, I wouldn't say you're a day over 30, but we don't want to know your age, definitely not. But you look pretty good to be a grandmother. Well done.
I work out. I work out. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that nice compliment. I work out. I'm diligent to work out. I try to watch what I eat because, diet, nutrition, your health is super important. The thing is, we forget, especially at a young age, the way that you take care of yourself today and all your viewers, what you're doing today will make great impacts on your health tomorrow. So, that ties into your routine of the day, and what you do, so it's important to take care of ourselves. I really believe that. And good skincare.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, your skin is pretty good as well. That's what I'm telling you. I mean, for viewers, they're looking at you on a screen, but as I said, I've met you in person. So, I'm actually shocked because I never knew that you had grandkids, which is great. I mean, it's wonderful. And it's good to know that family comes first. I mean, yes, we all have business, we all have work, or we're employed, or we've got jobs, or we've got something or the other. But I think family comes first. And in all the busy schedules you have, if you find time to spend with your family at home and do the things that you love the most, I think you've pretty much managed your daily routine. If I'm right in what I say.
Yep, that's exactly right. Because we see in business and we see wherever, especially in business though, we see, let's just look at our culture where people get so engrossed in what they're doing. They're traveling, they're doing all sorts of different projects, different things. And then their family goes by the wayside. And so there's a breakdown in our culture. And, we have to be careful not to do that. We have to be careful to make time for our family because they're first.
Very true. In fact, we have Sharon Coelho, who's in Canada. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for joining us. She says, kudos to you. You are a true inspiration. More power to you. And we have Sureshni. She is in Sri Lanka. By the way, you've got people from various countries all over the world, even though we're not too many of us.
Wonderful.
Many people there. And she says, blessed young grandmother. Carmel Austin is in India. Carmel Austin in India says, God bless grandma. Dr. Simmons, you are amazing. Well,
that's so sweet. So
I see a lot of comments. The thing is, it's hard to catch up and keep up with them. David, who is one of our admins, also says, yes, parents and family comes first. He is a pretty strict admin, by the way, because he says he cuts off at 8:30 and he has no time to come on because he spends time with the family. He prays, he does his exercising in the evening, and that's a disciplined man. So, David, well done. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
It is.
Yeah.
Congrats on that, David. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's one of our admins, by the way. So we've got Nicola there. We've got quite a few of our admins as well online. Well, Tania, now again, I think it's time for Lester to start the questioning. He's waiting to use the word grill you again. Not to grill you, we're having fun.
No,
Go ahead,
it's
Lester,
not
over to
grilling
you.
time. Don't worry.
Okay, this is fun. This is fun, you guys. This is awesome.
Over to you, Lester.
So, Dr. Tania, in your schedule, basically, we've got just few hours in our day. How many hours in a day do you work on an average?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. I work very, very hard. When I work, my motto is I work really hard and I play really hard. Right. So when I work hard, I give it 200% of myself. I pour myself into what I do and I'm really focused. I think it's important to know your circadian rhythms and where you are as far as your peak and your flow for creativity throughout your day. Right. So that goes into where do I function the highest in my day and then maximize and optimize those hours. So I work really high performance in the morning and I work really well in the morning and the afternoon. And then I have a cutoff time, like late evening. And then I go from there. Right. And so then I relax and then I have my family time. And I pour myself, and then on weekends, I might work maybe a Saturday or whatever. But on Sunday, it's my rest day, and then I play really hard. Like I just, you know what I mean? It's just family, it's laughter, because your soul, right? You're working, working, working.
Right.
I've learned this much, that if you work, 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 and then no play, it doesn't make for a great day. You know what I mean? So I like to take breaks through my day as well. I like to go outside, breathe fresh air. I have to, and we know through neuroscience that even when that you have that change of pace, it's like you reset mentally, your alertness is more acute. So it's those types of things that I do through my day to increase my alertness. I take mental breaks. You know, I take some time, like even if it's 15-minute segments through my day, to refresh. I do that, and then I work again. So really, I'm working all through the day, and then at night I have a cutoff time, and then I relax. I have to decompress 1 hour before my bedtime, because you're thinking, you know, I'm on the computer, I'm on the blue, like I'm, you know, all these, you know, and then you're going from Zoom to Zoom to Zoom, and you have to give your body and your brain some time to decompress at least an hour before your bedtime. So those are the types of things I do, and I work really hard, but I play really hard too.
Oh wow, that was really. I mean, in a day you do so much. And now, what motivates you to do that, Dr. Simmons?
Yeah. So I think I really thought about this, and I think it goes back to your why, you know, why you do what you do. Are you doing what you do for accolades? Are you doing what you do to be recognized? Are you doing what you do to, you know, pump up your own ego, and have people pump up your ego, or ego fluff, right?
Right.
No, no. I'm doing it out of the core values that I operate from. And so what that means is that for me, it's a calling. And I operate from that calling, that place of a calling, of true purpose. And so that's what motivates me. That's what drives me. And you can be driven in a negative way, or you can be driven in a positive way. For me, it's a positive. It's being driven in a positive way. When my first husband passed away, I remember thinking to myself and seeing the nurses come in, and I remember thinking to myself, wow, is this going to be a good day or a bad day? Right. And I could
Right.
tell right off, whenever they would cross the door, I knew if it was going to be a good day or a bad day. I knew. And so I learned from that experience that it's like the small acts of kindness can make the biggest difference and the biggest impacts in people's lives. You don't, it, let's talk about the quote, the biggest doors can swing on the smallest hinges. So what that means is your small acts of kindness, the small things you do, can make the biggest impacts in people's lives if it's coming from a genuine place of love. And so love makes the difference. Love makes the impact. So, you
Exactly.
know, yeah, love makes the difference. If you're operating from a genuine, authentic place of love, people know it. People can feel it. People will pick up on it. If you're not genuine in business, if you're not genuine in your relationships, if you're not genuine in your friendships, people know that as well. And people will do business with people that they trust. And so that's just how it is. That's my why. I want people to feel loved and genuinely cared for around me. And I want to spread that. I want to spread that. So that's my why.
Wow.
I know that might seem simple, but that's
No,
my
it's not
why.
simple. In fact, there's a learning curve out here. As you said that, let's put it that the small hinges, can open a big door. So
Yeah.
that's what is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lester, I believe in being authentic, very authentic, you know, and transparent. You know, you can be on the biggest stages, and that's amazing. You know, that's wonderful. And there's a decorum, there's a protocol, you know, and all of that. But
Right.
without authenticity, people people are turned off. They're not into fake, they're into real. And if you can be real with people and shoot from the heart and have that true heart to heart connection, people value that. People, that's what people
Exactly.
want. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think this is what is required in these times, in the pandemic times. Be authentic and give it from the
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
Uh,
that was well said, Dr. Tania. In fact, I don't know, I'm sure you remember when you were in Dubai, you met with Piki Nanda. We had her
Oh my God. I love her.
yeah,
She is amazing. Hi, Vicky. I
yeah.
know.
So we had her last week. I'm sure you were there too. And we had her
Yes.
live with us on TeaTalk last Friday. And she just put in the comment now and said, I don't know, how do you do all that? Okay, she's been listening to you and she was asking questions. And of course, we have many others saying, really amazing. God bless you. Yeah, it's your calling, Sureshni. Thank you very much for that comment. Very interesting to listen to you. I mean, I don't know how you put all this in a 24-hour day, because for me, I'm definitely wrong when I keep listening to people like you who are coaches and people who talk to others and tell them, how to set their life right and probably how to work, a day, a full day, no matter how much work you have, and you need to enough time for everything you do and find a way to cut off 1 hour before going to sleep. Again, that is something which is, I think, for a lot of us, very hard to do. For me, I'll just speak on my personal, not experience, but personal mistakes that I make, I guess. What I do, maybe you should let me know whether it's right or wrong. I do cut off, but once I cut off from working, then I go upstairs to my bedroom. Once I'm in the bedroom, I don't sleep immediately. Neither do I cut off completely. I've got my phone, my cell, which is right next to me on my bed.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm
Yep.
still checking because I have to moderate my group. So I'm, on the
Yep.
group. I'm checking on who's
Yep.
posting what and deleting and commenting.
Yep.
And
Yep.
simultaneously, I'm also watching TV. So I'm on Netflix for the lack of nothing to do. I
Yeah.
spend about an hour and a half probably doing this. And then when I'm really sleepy, I turn it off and go to sleep. So is that something that's right? Or is it wrong? Or should I just cut off completely?
Yeah. So I'm not going to say it's right or wrong, but because each is to his own. But I'm just going to say that it's probably not the best, because your brain, is still being stimulated. You're not allowing that downtime to happen, especially in your physical body as well. Because when you are on go mode and when you are on business mode and when you are on work, see, you're still in work mode, even in your bed. Now, your bedroom, think about it. Your office is your office for a reason in your house. That's where you're supposed to do your work, right? When you shut the door to your office, you go into your bedroom. What does your bedroom signify? It's a place of rest. It's your safe haven. It's your rest time. That's when your mind decompresses. That's when your body goes in a relax mode. That's when you chill, right? So what we find is that when people keep their cell phones, and I've done this myself, I am not perfect at this, believe me, but we're all learning at a different curve. When you keep your cell phone beside your bed, what happens? It goes off and off and off and off, and then you get interrupted sleep, right? Or you get interrupted, or you think about all the things that you have to do, or whatever. So you're not really allowing your mind to decompress. Think of your mind and your brain as a computer. You need your brain to rest. And so my advice is to put your cell phone in the bathroom, or not beside your bedside. Turn it off, give yourself a cutoff limit, and then chill in your bedroom, in your bed, and relax, because it's going to be there the next day. You know what I mean? It's going to be there. Your body needs that time to and heal, through the things of the day. You need that rest time. It's really important. So that would be my advice: is take your cell phone and turn it off, give yourself a cutoff time, and relax, and just chill, and get a good night's rest, so you'll be refreshed for the next day, you know, and I don't know if you have a routine at night or in the morning where it's meditation or prayer or whatever, but that helps a lot to like refocus, reset, conquer your day, and do things like that. So
Wow. So, Lester, all these years you've been giving me bad advice, I must say. Yeah.
Well, I think, Alvin, I don't think you'll be able to do that because the phone is a part of your body. It's an extension of your hand.
I'm just waiting for them to come out with the phone that they implant into your brain or skin or your fingers or somewhere. Because Lester's right. The thing is with me, my phone is always with me. It's on me. Let's put it that way. Not even with me.
no, I know, it's me too. I agree. I understand. And it can be an addiction. It can be addictive, right?
It is.
It can be addictive.
I
And
mean,
yeah.
it's a pity because we've been driven by things that we shouldn't be doing, and I'm one of them. Certain habits never die. So one of the habits is carrying this mobile of mine in my pocket. It's on my body. It's all the time with me, and every minute or so, I have to get onto Facebook, not for personal reasons, but because of because I'm moderating the group. So I have to be
Yeah.
there. So all us, as moderators, this is what we're doing most of the time.
Yes.
Until I actually go to sleep, that's what I'm doing. So if you see a comment popping up at midnight, you'll see me there, or one of us, who's deleting it or commenting or something or the other. Yes, I don't look
I
for.
understand.
Yeah, I don't look for emails though. I don't look at business emails and stuff like this. That I leave till morning. But this nonsense of WhatsApp and social media, Instagram and Facebook, it's a bit of a nightmare and an addiction. But having said that, Dr.
It
Tania,
is. And yeah. I'm listening.
yeah, just one more, I wanted to add to that same question of spending that 1.5 hour before going to sleep. When I cut off and I'm ready to sleep, that's when I'm really sleepy and my eyes start, closing and it's not going to be staying open anymore. I knock off and I have a good, probably 5 or 6 hours sleep. Yes, sometimes without a single dream, sometimes with a million dreams. But that sleep is beautiful, that 5 or 6 hours. I don't get disturbed. I don't have a restroom urge at night. I don't have any of these problems. So I always wake up in the morning and I wake up pretty early. It could be as early as 6:30 or 7 or 7:30. And then I'm pretty fresh the whole day. Is it actually, what should I say? It's a good amount of sleep that I've had, that I've been refreshed. Or as you said, getting away your mobile phone, keeping it away, not having these distractions. Um, to keep awake, for 1 hour on your bed and not do anything, it's not easy because, when you're on your bed, you somehow feel sleepy. So probably, sitting down and before going up to the bed is chilling for an hour and then probably going to the bed and just sleeping. That's what you would suggest to everybody, I'm sure, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing I want to stress very clearly. You don't want to get yourself into what's called adrenal fatigue. And so what that means is your adrenals start to fatigue out because you get in a state of just stress. You're going from stress to stress to stress to stress. We know that entrepreneurship and people in business deal with high levels of stress at certain times. So that's why fun time is so important. I meet so many leaders and so many people that have forgotten how to laugh. I'm being honest. And I love to laugh. I love to be silly. I think it's so fun at times. And, there's a time and place for that. So I think that you have to have that time of refreshing. You have to have your day planned out some days, but you have to have flexibility, being adaptable as well. We've seen that in the pandemic. But if you can schedule a routine through your day, we know that routine sets you up for success. We already know that. So it's consistency, routine, it's strategizing what is what through your day, whether you're on social media, how many times a day do you want to be on social? When are you going to check your social? Do you do it randomly? Do you have certain intervals through the day that you're going to do that? That's what I'm talking about. So you're regulating yourself in so many ways, especially with exercise. You got to fit in exercise to maintain your health and to maintain not just peak performance, but I'm talking about optimizing your performance, you know, because we know neuroscience, neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, creating new neurons. You know, obviously when you're exercise, you're creating new neurons. Your brain is actually in growth mode. So you need to understand, we need to understand these things, that when someone says, oh, we should exercise, or shoulda, coulda, woulda, let's not operate from that place of shoulda, woulda, coulda. Let's operate from a place of internal motivation, right? To whereas we see the optimal benefits of what we're doing through our day and how it's impacting our life, you know, for the long term. We're not just looking at it short term, we're looking at it long term. So yeah, we're looking at holistic health. We're looking at making the best choices through our day and how to really live out the best life that we can every day. And we do that one day at a time, because today is the day we have. We don't have tomorrow yet. We have today. So it's what we're doing today that matters, you know, and setting ourselves up for true success, our perspective, our mindset, all of that ties into our feelings, which ties into our physical bodies as well. It's a paradigm. So we have to think about, what are our thoughts? How are we thinking? How's it affecting our emotions? Our thoughts affect our feelings affect our thoughts, which affect our physical health. So these are all those things that we need to look at, especially being business people. How can we can only give who we are. We can only impart what we have. So those are some things, key things to think about. So hopefully that'll help.
Well said, Dr. Tania. Before I go back to Lester, the studio, who's waiting to ask you another question or two, let me go through the comments and read a couple of things some of our viewers have actually posted. Karen Austin,
Okay.
I think she's in London. She says, removing your phone and other potential distractions from your room can help limit idle time in bed that will cut into your sleep. Then we have
Yes.
Nicola, who's one of our admins, who right below that says, even in my sleep, I check TNG. That addictive I have become. So Nicola, let me just tell you, since you're listening, I know Dr. Tania has been very kind to be telling everyone what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing before going to sleep. But that doesn't mean it's for you, okay? Continue doing what you're doing, because we need you to be there 24/7. I'm only joking. We have Carmel Austin. I think she is Karen and Nicola's mom. She says, she was responding to the question I put to you. She says, no, please break this habit, my brother Alvin. So they're all advising me to stop what I'm doing, because it is definitely bad. And I have one question from Judy Carroll, who is also a regular on our group. She sings in different languages on our group, and she's pretty active. In fact, even today she was live.
Wow.
She says, Doctor, I wake up at 6, do the housework, take online classes as I'm a teacher, take care of my grandchildren, practice for 2 or 3 hours, and so on. I go to bed only after 11:30 p.m. I'm 58 years old. Is it okay for me, is her question to you.
I think that as long as, I don't know if she has other health issues or if she's relatively healthy or those types of things, but what was her name? Was her name Judy?
Judy Carroll.
Judy. Hi, Judy. Thank you for the question. Let me see here. Thank you for the question, Judy. So I'm going to answer that very quickly. And the thing is that 11:30, if you're getting up at 6:30, what is that? It's recommended about 7 hours a night. Now, I know some people, they seem to not need that, but
Wow, we just lost her, Lester.
It looked like, yeah.
Judy, did you scare her off, Judy? I think you scared her. There, she's back again.
No, I'm back. I I would make adjustments if you, Judy, are feeling sluggish, or it just depends on how you're feeling. But the recommended amount of sleep is 7 to 8 hours. Some people who are entrepreneurs or business people, or some people I know, they operate on 5 hours of sleep, but we're talking about long-term effects on your health, right? I'm not just looking at immediate today. I'm looking at long-term over, a year or 7 months, of that kind of thing going on. It will affect your health. It will. Like it's proven. There's clinical study after clinical study stating that you need optimal sleep and rest. So, and just because your brain goes into different types of brain waves, right? Delta, theta, all sorts of different brain waves when you sleep, when you rest. That's why you have deeper rest than at other times. Your circadian rhythm is affected. So to answer your question, Judy, I would definitely try to get in bed a little earlier than 11:30, just to be honest. And if you're getting up at 6:30, and if it's working for you, great. But I would adjust the time I go to bed just at a little earlier, and then I would decompress, kind of get your body, your brain, your mind in a state of relaxation, and then go to sleep. Let's see how that works out for you. Put your phone away, take it away, and see how that works.
Well, sorry, Lester, just a second. Dr. Tania, if she sleeps at 11:30 and wakes up at 6:30, or 11 and wakes up at 6:30, that's already 7.5 hours. Just another thing to ask you related to the sleep pattern itself. Some people like me, probably with 5 or 6 hours of good sleep, I'm fit.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm perfectly okay, because once I see, a little bit of sunlight, I cannot sleep after that again. And if I try to sleep, it's torturing myself, to be honest. Let's put it that way. But there are people who can sleep from 12 o'clock all the way through, probably for 10 hours or 9 or 10 hours. Is that good? Is it better to have longer sleep? Or is that not a good thing to sleep more than that 7 or 8 hours that we actually need every night? What would you say on this?
Yeah, so I've seen people like that as well. And I think each person is different. That's why, we'd have to do a sit down, we'd have to do an assessment, we'd have to talk, see what you're doing through the day, get a really good clinical picture of what's happening through your day. Stressors are involved with this as well, like environmental stressors, emotional stressors, what's pulling on you through the day, how are you resting? Then we get into different diagnoses, such as sleep apnea. Are you experiencing sleep apnea? Some people experience sleep apnea and they don't even know it. That means that their sleep is interrupted because they're not breathing properly at night. So when they get up, they're thinking that they're having enough sleep, but they're exhausted when they get up. Why? Because the oxygen from the brain is kind of cut off for a period of time. And that's a scary thing. That's why people, especially obese people, or people who are weigh a lot more, can experience sleep apnea. And so it's important to if you're snoring or if you have problems like that, get those things checked, because that's going to affect your overall health and the way that you rest. So in answering your question, I think we would have to sit down and do an assessment, get a clearer picture of what they're doing through the day, how they're moving about, what stressors are in their life. And, sometimes it can be a hormonal thing, why people are resting or sleeping so long. Sometimes it could be emotional issues, such as depression and things of that nature. So we need to have a proper assessment, and that's what I do as well. And I help people in that way. So, I think it's called customized medicine. It's customized. So each person is different. The way that I would treat Lester would not be the way that I would treat you, because you're two different people. We could speak in generalities, but you're two different people. So I like to customize and treat people on an individual basis, if that makes sense. So I hope that was clear.
Well, that was crystal clear, I must say. Thank you. I think you answered a lot of questions pertaining to this particular bad habit that I would call, because where I'm concerned, it definitely is a bad habit. I'm going to try my best to see if I
Well,
can
we
help
all have
myself. So.
we all have things. We all have things. I have things. Everybody has things, you know. And if we're truly honest, everybody has weaknesses. Everybody struggles with something. And so your struggle might be that, my struggle is something else. But it's a matter of, getting to that place of recognizing, identifying, also identifying your triggers, what may trigger you emotionally, in order to do certain things or eat certain foods or act a certain way, or those are things that we would dive into as well in my coaching as well.
Well, Lester, I think you've been
Wow.
waiting, so over to you at the studio, Lester. Just one thing to our viewers, we're not taking a break today, which we normally would have done. We would have had a tea break, and then
Exactly,
our
yes.
sponsors' videos are played. But today, you've already had your coffee. You're still having your coffee, Dr. Tania. Lester and me are not taking a tea break, and neither
No,
are.
I'm taking one. Anyway,
He,
carry
you're the
on.
lucky guy.
Me too. Me too.
I wish I
Cheers.
had someone who gave me a cup of tea over here, but nevertheless, let's move on. So, Lester, over to you, Lester.
Right. Thank you, Alvin. So, Dr. Tanya, you're a nurse at heart, and recently it was Nurses Day. I think on the 6th of May, right? Yes.
Mhm.
I would first of all like to give a shout out to all the nurses and doctors who have selflessly been working day in and day out.
Yes.
What message do you want to give all the nurses, doctors, caregivers who are in the field right now and are going through burnouts?
Yes, that's exactly right. We see that, and I'm just going to speak very openly and candidly about this subject. We need good support systems. We need good support in healthcare. We are on the front lines. We see things that other people would never see in a lifetime. We deal with things that other people only see in movies, and deal with things that. So we're givers. We give physically, we give emotionally, we give mentally, we give psychologically. So it's about helping people. And so when you do that, it's very easy to put other people in front of yourself, and to neglect your self-care, to neglect the things that you need. When we're riding on an airplane, what does the steward say? She says, if we come into a really difficult situation, the oxygen mask will drop. You first apply oxygen to yourself, and then you apply it or help other people.
Absolutely,
What's
yes.
that principle? Right. What's the principle? The principle is, when you have to first take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself well, how are you going to take care of anyone else? How are you going to be an effective father? How are you going to be an effective daughter? How are you going to be effective doctor or nurse or caregiver? Because I see that over and over and over, especially in healthcare. We have such a big heart that we take care of other people because that's our calling. We look at it as a calling. It's our purpose in life, right? It's not
Right.
something. It's almost like it chose us. We didn't chose it, so to speak. And so I want to say this is that, number one, to all the doctors and the nurses that have been on the front lines, kudos, much love, much appreciation during this pandemic. People have lost their lives trying to take care of other people. So this is not something that we take lightly. We appreciate every caregiver, every doctor, every nurse that has cried at the bedside with their families, has supported their patients, has given when they just feel like they can't give anymore. So I do also do support with healthcare workers. If there are any listening to me and you would like to connect, please connect with me. I would love to connect with you and create that safe place, even if it's just to talk, for support, for just comfort. We all need a safe place to go to and to have. So I just want to send great love and great thanks to all the healthcare workers around the world. So thank you so much. We love you.
Wow. That was really inspiring, Doctor.
Very
Uh,
inspiring. In fact, I
yeah.
think from all of us as well, a salute to all the nurses, doctors, frontline workers, anybody and everybody who's doing what they're doing, because they put their, I mean, they're risking their lives and they're putting others before their
Correct. That's correct.
They
That's
deserve a
correct.
big salute from all of us. Well done, guys. God bless you all. More power to you all. I'm seeing a lot of messages coming, saying the same thing over here as well. Judy says her daughter, Vindhya, is an army nurse, which is good. We've got a lot of other people who are watching us, and I'm sure there are a lot of them whose family is in the medical field and who are at the moment at high risk as well. India's
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I could go into greater depth in this topic. I mean, in really a lot of depth. But what I am going to say is sometimes healthcare workers are working without the appropriate PPE. Sometimes healthcare workers are told to reuse masks, and all of those types of things. And they are putting their lives on risk and on the line. But that's what I'm telling you. They're warriors. They are absolute warriors, and we don't look at it like we're warriors. We look at it because that's our calling. That is a call that we operate in, and we choose to do that, and we couldn't see ourselves doing anything else. And it's all about helping and taking care of people, and that's the heart of nursing. That's the heart of being a doctor, and seeing people for who they are and taking care of people for who they are, and not just a diagnosis. So yeah.
It's a little off topic, but if you are okay with it and if you would accept an invitation from us, it doesn't have to be during a TeaTalk show, which we do every Friday, but we could always do it on a Saturday, Sunday, whenever you think you have time. And if you have time, I think
I'll make time, and I'll be inside.
Awesome.
Wow.
You know what I'd like to do, honestly, is just off the hat right now. I'm talking because listening to you and being a nurse that you are, I mean, that's what where your heart is. I think it'd be nice if we do put out a message on our groups, asking everyone who has medical staff in their families, whether they're nurses, doctors, pharmacists, or anybody for that matter in the front line, who would like to talk to you probably and do it via a live show that we have. I think more than getting questions answered, it could also be a motivational, inspirational, talk. And we don't have to make it too long, but if you can and you would accept an invitation, Lester and myself, we have a core ideas team, by the way. I will sit with the ideas team and probably get something worked out and check with you when you are available with your date and time, and then put out something only for this cause, because India right now, as you know, and you're reading and you're seeing,
Correct.
we feel the pain. We're all from there. We're all Indians. We're born Indian. That's my mother. It's my hometown. It's my motherland. And it's sad to see what's going on there. Every day, every few minutes, you refresh your mobile, WhatsApp or Facebook. Someone has lost a dear one. Someone is losing a dear one. Someone's in hospital.
Yes.
Emergency services, oxygen. I mean, it's really heartbreaking. So I think we should do a talk. Lester has told me this before in the past, but I didn't want to make it more of a focused COVID discussion, but maybe just to motivate our frontline workers who are really giving their lives. And I'm sure they also get back home and take a break. I think we should talk to them. So this we'll come back to definitely. I want to talk about vaccinations, about tests, and how you can prevent and take care of yourselves and stuff like this. So we'll come back and we'll discuss this with you. Meanwhile, I'm going to hand over back to you, Lester, at the studios, because I think we'll go for one more question. We're already at 8 o'clock, and I know you'll have a busy day as well. It's a weekday for you. For us, it's a weekend, by the way, in Dubai.
Yeah, I know.
Lester, over to you, Lester.
Well, actually, in fact, I would like Dr. Tania, if she could share with us maybe your website or your email address, if possible, so people can get in touch with you.
Yes, absolutely. Sure. I like to keep things simple. My website is being actually renovated and reconstructed right now, actually. So it's almost done. I'm excited. I've got three websites. We're working on all of those, upgrading those right now. But you can find me on LinkedIn under Dr. Tania Simmons, Tania Simmons, LinkedIn. And then also you could find me on Facebook under Dr. Tania Simmons as well. Just send me a friend request or, DM me. And I'm always on there.
Please don't go.
I
We
think,
will lose mouth. It's so interesting.
please don't go. You have to sing that song,
Yeah.
Alvin.
There she is back
That's
again.
that's
Please don't go. Please don't go. Babe, I need you so.
Please don't go.
Tanya, we're not going to let you go. If we have to continue, we're going to continue even after.
they're in genuine need. So I would love to connect for sure. Absolutely.
Okay. We actually lost you for probably 30
Couple of
seconds or
seconds,
so.
yeah.
And
Oh no.
Lester and me were singing, please don't go, please don't go.
Okay, well, let's start this over. So people can get with me three ways. My three websites are being renewed, like they're being upgraded. So right now. So three ways you can connect with me. One, LinkedIn under Dr. Tania Simmons. Two, Facebook under Dr. Tania Simmons. DM me. I'll typically respond very quickly. And if I don't, give me a little leeway there, but I will respond. And then the third way would be by email. Profit, PROFIT, FOR, purpose, PURPOSE 7 at gmail.com. So those are the ways that you can connect. Three ways: LinkedIn, Facebook, and Profit for Purpose 7 at gmail.com. I'd love to connect because, that's the reason why I'm doing these talks, is because people are in need. I'm not doing the talks just to say I'm doing talks. I mean, that would be wasting everyone's time, to be honest. I want to do talks like this to meet people's needs, to meet them where they're at, because they're hurting. And so I'd like to connect for sure. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you for the info. And Bhushan Murray, she's here in the house. Thank you, Bhushan, for joining us. Bhushan, after hearing me saying or singing those two words, please don't go, three words, she says, Alvin, want you to sing, buddy. Please let me do the talking. Lester's a great singer. Probably he's going to sing.
Well, I'm not so great.
I would rather have you listen to me than to run away because I sing. But Lynette John just joined in. She's another admin with us. In fact, you should listen to her sing. She's coming live on Sunday around the same time.
Oh, wow.
A little
I would
earlier.
love to.
Yeah, so she says, really a pleasure to have you on the show, Dr. Tania. Well said. Thank you, which is good. So,
thank you so much.
Tania, I think sorry, I keep calling you Tania. I know it's Dr. Tania. Please forgive me. There are times I
No, it's fine. It's fine. Tanya's good. I'm good with that. No worries.
Now, for all the work you've done, I think just before I was keeping this for the last actually, and I wanted to ask you this. Now, you've done a lot of good work. You've done a lot of work in your life. You've motivated, inspired. You've worked for people. You worked for people. You've been a nurse. You've been an entrepreneur. You've been a life coach, keynote speaker, everything. During the entire years that you spent doing this as a profession, I'm sure you've also got or won a lot of awards and accolades and praise and whatnot. I'm not going to ask you about all of them. What I want to ask you is about the recent one that I read. I saw it on Facebook that you were also awarded the Black, it was a Black Jerseys Award. I'm not very sure, and I don't want to make a mistake. So I'm going to ask you to please let us know about this and what's that award and what do they actually do? Who's the person behind it? So our viewers understand, what this award is all about. Meanwhile, let me say hi to Pascal Monis. Pascal, thank you for joining us. I saw you earlier as well. Continue staying and listening to this wonderful person we have here, Dr. Tania. Over to you, Dr.
Wonderful. So yes. I mean, I'm just super grateful, to be honest. Like, listen, the bottom line is, without great adversity, I went through so much. I've been through so much in my life. And, people sometimes don't see that, right? Like, you can't have great success without great adversity. They go hand in hand. You can't have great authority and not have great responsibility. Authority and responsibility always go hand in hand. So I've overcome and still, like right now, I've got struggles. I've got things that I would never say I'm perfect. So I'm humbled because I do work hard, and I try to maintain my core values and to operate from my core values of compassion, integrity, respect, operating with a culture of honor, creating a culture of honor among who you deal with. People need to feel honored in your presence. They need to feel respected by you. That's the bottom line. So to answer your question, I'm super humbled that yes, I did get chosen, I think out of 27 women, something like that, to be in the Women Rock of Fame for entrepreneurs and business leaders globally, through Dr. Carl Wilson. He is a wonderful man. He sets up events all over the world and does a lot of great things. And so we were selected, and actually my best friend, Dr. Saf Buxey, actually nominated me. And I was honored by that nomination. Dr. Saf Buxey and I, we partner, and he oversees the UK division of Healing for the Nations. And he is an amazing author and speaker as well. Just a wonderful, wonderful person. He does, he gives hope. He just does so much. So bottom line is he nominated me. Dr. Carl Wilson obviously accepted the nomination. And I was asked to write a chapter in a leading book. And so I did that, submitted that. And this organization recognizes your hard work, recognizes humanitarian work, endeavors, entrepreneurs globally. So, Tanya Brown, who is, or remember Nicole Brown, her sister in LA and everything with OJ Simpson. She's nominated on that same platform. Key leaders, strategic thought leaders are in this organization. So I'm humbled. Like I'm just grateful. And so yeah, I did win that, and I've been asked to be a speaker in August and all sorts of things. And I'm super grateful, because what people don't see is the struggle behind the scenes to where you are now, right, Ellen? They don't see those things. There's been great struggle. I've had to overcome a lot of adversity, and it's been hard work. And I don't know. I'm just grateful. I never get moved by people's accolades. I don't get moved either way. I don't get moved by the praise, and I don't get moved by the negative. Because the people who praise you are the people who can turn on you in a minute. And the people who are negative, well, they're just haters anyways. So, you just take it in stride. You take it one day at a time. You remain humble. You do what you're called to do. You operate through purpose. You don't, you're not moved by people's opinions, and you love the best you can. That's what
I don't know where to start and where to end. I would love to go on listening to you. I hope one day we're going to be together, and I look forward to working with you on many other things that I'm sure many avenues you and me can work together, not just you and me, even other viewers who are listening to us. I mean, if you have ideas, if you want to, do something with us, whether it's TNG, whether it's Lester, Alvin, or anybody in particular, Dr. Tania is a very, very interesting person by itself. I mean, forget about everything else we heard about her. And I'm sure there are a lot of things we can work on for the future. And I'm going to be talking.
I have one more thing to say.
Sure.
And hopefully I am going to say this, because I nominated you for the Black Blazer Award. So Dr. Carl Wilson has the women, the red blazer, and then the men. Dr. Saf Buxey is a black blazer as well, but I'm hoping to see you with a black blazer soon. So you are very well deserved. You're such a great, the things that you've done are the things that you've done are amazing. And you even, I remember talking to you, and you shared with me some of the struggles you've been through. And it's amazing. Like you work hard, you're well deserved, and I'm just honored to be on your platform, to be honest. Thank you for that. Thank you for inviting me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Tania. I mean, you're getting me sentimental. Honestly, what I'm doing is not because I'm doing it myself. It's because of all the people, all the ones who are there, who we consider on our two groups that we have, the Talent Networking Group and TNGlive. They are our one big happy family. So if we are doing any good in any little way, it's because of them. Because more than us motivating and inspiring them, they motivate and inspire us as well. So if I, as one person, I'm doing it, I have 5 or 6 or 10 or 12,000 who are also motivating us. So with that, Pascal,
and that's what it's about, right? That's what it's
exactly.
about. It's about what you did, Owen, is you created community. And people need community. People need to feel needed. They need to feel a part of, they need to belong. And you create community. And so, especially during this pandemic, notice the people that are on this line are people globally. They're all over the world. And so through technology and through this one idea of creating community, you bring people together. And so that's huge. People need that, especially now where there's isolation and things of that nature. People need community. We're created for relationship.
Yeah, Bhushan, thank you so much for sharing. I see Bhushan really busy. I see Bhushan really busy. She's tagging a lot of people. Thanks, Bhushan. And you also say amazing person. I'm not, honestly, but you know what, Dr. Tania, I'm not doing this, or neither is any of us. I mean, not myself, even all the admins and moderators who work very hard behind the scenes. They may not be here sitting with us live, but behind the scenes, they work hard. So none of us are doing this for awards, but thank you for nominating me. And I wanted to talk to Dr. Carl Wilson, you said, right? Williams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, Wilson.
Carl Williams. Wilson, sorry. We'd like to get him on one of our shows, I think post mid-June, because we're pretty tied up till the 10th or 14th of June. I'm going to look for a new date. We'll get him to do a talk with us as well. We need people like him also to be on our talk shows. And hopefully, I with Lester's permission, I'm also going to ask him and invite him to do an event in Dubai with TNG as a support.
Oh my goodness, that would be awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
So, all these things are not. By the way, all these things are not part of our script, as you can understand, because we didn't plan all these things. But after listening to you,
I love it.
Impromptu. I mean, I'm listening to you and everyone's listening to you. And I think this is what we can do together, because I think we as TNG would also like to recognize people who have also done good, because there are a lot of people doing good for the community. A lot of people who are going the extra mile without even thinking twice. They don't even have the needs, the necessary tools, by the way, but they just go that extra mile because they feel that they have to do it. So I think
I'm talking about the single mother who sees her neighbor who needs extra food and goes the extra mile and takes half of what she has to give to her next door neighbor. Those are the types of things. So I'm talking about everyday, today incidences, things that are great on a great impact global level as well. But people who need recognized, like they're not doing it to be recognized, but they need that. I mean, they should be recognized. Do you see what I'm saying? Like we have those people, we come in contact with people every day that are paying it forward. And, you know, if you come in contact with just kindness, people who are kind. I mean, now it's very rare. I mean, I hate to say this, but it's rare sometimes. And so acknowledge those people, you know, treat people with kindness. You never know what people are going through behind the scenes. You just never know. So I like the fact that we're not on scripts. There's a policeman. I like that. And I think
thank God you're not driving, by the way, because if you were driving, you'd be given a ticket. Lester, I'm going to catch Lester off guard, and I think all those who are listening, and even my admins and the moderators and the ideas team of TNG. I've just come up with an idea after talking to Dr. Tania. Lester, let's plan an event with Dr. Carl Wilson.
Wilson, yes.
Wherein we're going to do an event with him here. We're going to recognize people prior to doing the event. Dr. Tania, I would like you to get on a call with me and Dr. Carl. I think we as TNG would also like to award a couple of people who have been part of our One Big Happy family. We'll run a poll to see who deserves it and probably shortlist 10 or 15 or 20 of them. It's not a contest. We don't do contests on our groups. We don't compete with each other. We never will do it. But probably to recognize people more than calling it an award or a prize or whatever, we'll recognize people who have done a lot of community work during this particular pandemic.
Yeah.
Just name one person.
Yes.
I think I sent you a short little story done on me by one of our admins, Derek Wheeler, who lives in India, and he's part of an NGO. What he does is stories of resilience, and this is something he asked me one day, with part of his team, and he said, Alvin, I would like to do a story anew, but the story has to be an honest story about yourself. Are you willing to be open about it? All I could tell him,
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
what I told him? I said, Derek, I said, I haven't raped anybody, murdered anybody, or robbed a bank.
Right.
So if that's what you want me to be open and honest about, I'm ready to do it. I said, ask me what you want. So whatever you read, I sent you a file, and if you have time, please read it. It's pretty much the honest thing about me. And he has actually put it up, and he is looking for stories of people like you. So if you're okay with it, I would recommend your name to him, because they would like to do a story, no matter where in the world you are, no matter what nationality, color, creed, religion. We are open to anybody and everybody. So there is, I think, I didn't know about.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I didn't know that there
Absolutely.
was some awards related to this. Somebody asked me, Alvin, what do you want me to do? How do I vote for you? I said, vote for me? I said, there's nothing to vote for. And then someone told me there's some awards. So I'm not looking at the award side of it, but I would like you to be part of it. If you're okay, I'm going to recommend your name to Derek, and he's going to get in touch with you to write a story.
I would love that. I would love that. And the reason, I've learned, and I'm learning more and more, that I can't say yes to everything, but things that are aligned with our purpose, especially healing for the nations and the core values which I operate from, I will take on. Those other things are fluff and stuff. And if we are walking in the same direction, then let's do it. If not, I've learned to kind of cut those things out of my life. So I feel like this would be aligned in a proper alignment, and I would love to do it. Absolutely. Because we have random acts of kindness every day. And there's everyday heroes. And, that's what it's about. It's about building up community, about honoring people. And I think it would be fabulous. Absolutely. I would love to do it. Sure.
Beautiful. Welcome,
Wow.
Michelle Thomas. Welcome. She just joined us. Thank you for joining us, Michelle. It's at the tail end, but nevertheless, you're there.
Hi,
I know
Michelle.
a lot of. She's in India as well, sings on our group, pretty good singer and a good friend as well now. Actually, something, Dr. Tania, what's nice is that we never knew any of these people. We haven't met any of them, having over 12,000 of them on our two groups. I think probably we know a handful, like Lester, me, we know each other, Nicola, we all meet and we know each other. But a lot of them we don't even know, we haven't met, but we feel like we've known them for years and years. They feel, they're
like
all family to us.
Exactly. They feel like family. Yeah.
It's such a lovely feeling.
And you know what you've done? You've created successful community. And that's why people come back time and time and week and week. Next Friday, they'll be back again. Why? Because you create that family environment. So I'd like to recognize everyone that has had a part in this, that isn't in the forefront. And I know that's your heart as well. All your admins, the people who do the graphic design, like all of it, we need each other. And so none of this is possible without the people that are behind the scenes. And sometimes they don't get recognized. And so those are the ones that need to get recognized. And they don't do it for recognition. They don't do it for recognition. They do it for purpose. They do it because they believe in the vision, and they do it because they believe in your mission.
Very true.
We'll have to be recognizing Lester a lot because he did your flyer, by the way. all, all that you see on the studio front that Lester's got over there, that's all done by him. All the graphics are done by him. A
He's
lot of it,
amazing. Wow.
yeah, a
Thank
lot of
you.
it is done.
amazing.
He's a working person himself. He works a 9 to 5 job. He's a senior person at one of the car dealerships. So he works a busy schedule, 6 days a week, by the way, not 5 days a week. He works 6 days,
Wow.
and somehow he finds time to do all these things for us. So he spends his free time and his weekends sitting and doing this. And not only him, even Derek, like I mentioned, does a lot of work when it comes to the editorials and PR. So the write-up that you saw on our Facebook page was done by Derek, by the way. So a shout out to him. Thank you, Derek.
Wow.
Not here, he's busy in
Shout
some
out to
meeting.
Thank you, Derek. Yep.
So
Yes.
we have Nicola. I mean, I'm not going to take names of every one of them. It will take probably a minute because we're 15 of us. But they're all there doing a good job. And thank you. We salute all of them for doing everything, by the way, just a social service. Yeah. And no one's getting paid for doing anything. All of us are doing it out of pure love and passion and just to support, everyone who's our brothers and sisters, because of what is going on right now with the pandemic. Michelle says, true, Alvin, glad to be a part of the TNGlive family. Got a lot of support here too. Oh, Michelle, come on, thank you. We supported you, but
That's awesome.
thank you so much. So having said that, Nicola, if you're still there and listening, you need to make a note of this. TNG is going to come out with an award. I don't know whether Dr. Carl would permit us to give 1 or 2 or 3, but I'm going to discuss this with Dr. Tania and with Dr. Carl and see what we can come up with. And we're going to be recognizing well-deserved people. So we would like all our viewers and listeners to also suggest to us names that you think have been instrumental in helping, inspiring, motivating. Besides us, of course, we don't want it. I'm talking about those of you who are family members there with us. And I don't know whether we want to do it only on TNG, but I think we should look at everybody and anybody who is known, to our own family as well. When I say own family, I'm talking about our family on TNG and the Talent Networking Group. So we'll discuss this, Dr. Tania. We're going to come back to you and ask you to support us with this. So we're going to have a collaboration, hopefully with a lot of inspirational people like you, and see if we can do something, whether it's online or in person. Right now, it looks like it's online, but if you're doing a physical event, I would like to do this in Dubai, and I'm going to invite all of you here to go.
That was
Wow.
Well, I've decided I'm going to do it now, Lester, because I think talking to Dr. Tania has pushed me now over
It
the
has
edge.
inspired you. Yeah, exactly. And, we have a beautiful community which you've started. So definitely.
No, it's nice because, see, as we speak to people, this is what comes out of it. So we actually freezing. I think Dr. Tania is freezing a little bit. I know she's there. She can hear us.
I think we have gone over our time. It's
when you have interesting people like Dr. Tania here, this is what happens.
You guys hear me?
Could keep on going on and on.
Yeah, we can hear you in between. You're just breaking up.
It's technical issues, so I apologize.
No, as long as you can hear us, it's fine.
Yeah, I think that I can. I think that would be wonderful. I think it would absolutely be wonderful for the community at large. I think it would be wonderful.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to be telling our viewers, well, all of our viewers who are there watching us today, wherever you are in the world, Dr. Tania is also like the other coaches and motivational speakers, inspirational speakers we've had in the past. And we're going to have few more coming up, and all of them, Dr. Tania knows them. We're going to have Mr. B, who's going to be talking to us as well. We're going to be having, hopefully, Maria. I want to bring her on. She's a little busy, but I want to bring Maria Conceso on as well. We'll have Belinda Lee, hopefully, who today there was a big article about her in our Friday magazine, in our newspapers.
I saw that.
About digital. Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, she's a great speaker. I would like to have her.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's
so
amazing.
We're going to be trying and getting all of them on our show. We're going to have, I think, for the next probably 6 or 8 weeks, a lot of interesting talk shows. But if any of you want to get in touch with Dr. Tania, she gave you all her LinkedIn and social media handle on Instagram, as well as her email address. But please feel free to reach out to either Lester, myself, or any of our admins and moderators. We'll be happy to make the connect. I'm sure Dr. Tania would be happy to.
Absolutely.
We can hear some laughing, or we don't know who that is or what that is, but we can hear some laughing in the background. Someone's having a barbecue. I can see
I think
someone.
Dr. Tania is in a park, looks like.
Yeah. Well, so those of you who want to reach out. So Dr. Tania, just to ask you, I'm sure you do one-on-one coaching, discussions, educational programs, probably you mentor people, you probably do it one-on-one, you do it in groups. Would you like to discuss any kind of proposal? I don't want to say fees because I don't want to talk about money here, but maybe if you'd like to say anything about what you do and what you'd like to offer, you could say it now so people listening to you would be probably in a position to make up their mind if they want to get in touch or whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. So can you guys hear me right now? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
You're breaking
Okay,
up, but we
perfect.
can.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so the first thing is I do business coaching. So I take you through a series of different steps. Um, what my workshops and what my coaching is about. I do business, leadership, finances, personal growth as well. Transformational life coaching, health and wellness is involved with that too. So I call it potential to purpose. And so I do a strategy call. And if anyone is interested in doing, it's a free strategy call. And what we do is we connect, my team and we will connect with you. And then I will sit down and I'll do a strategy call with you. And what that looks like is we'll identify some of your beliefs. How should I put it? We'll go through like an assessment, and it'll help us identify some limiting beliefs. And then we'll talk about your potential and where you're at. And then we'll talk about your purpose and some action steps on how to get there. Because I know what it feels like to be stuck. I know what it feels like to grind your wheels and do the same thing over and over and not get any results. At some point, you have to make a change. At some point, you have to determine, I can't do this anymore. I know that there's more out there for me. I know that I need elevation. And sometimes it's not about, I've spent thousands of dollars on workshops, personal development, all of it, right? And so at some point, you have to understand what I found is finding the right source. And I'm telling you right now, I've got results. I help people get results. And I could give you case scenario after scenario. So they could jump on a strategy call with me from potential to purpose, and we can go from there and elevate your life to the next level and get your life to where you want it to be, to the life that you deserve living and that you really desire. So that's what I do.
That was nice.
Wow.
So everyone's heard that. Before we wind up, I think you've been standing outside there and talking to us for an hour now. It's unfair
It's
to keep
okay.
holding.
I love it.
That's
Dude,
nice.
I love it. Like
That's very
I
sweet.
feel like we're just sitting in a coffee shop, just talking and relaxing. Like I love it.
Well, by the way, I'm sitting very comfortably on my chair, and so is Lester in the studio. So
Exactly.
but let me tell you something. I mean, it was such a fabulous 1 hour. I would love to go on and on and on, but it's unfair to you, and it's unfair to even viewers who also want you to continue, by the way. But I'd like to come back. Yeah, we want to do another show with you, Dr. Tania, definitely. And as I said, it should be.
I would love it.
I think we should plan it as a speak and a discussion on the frontline workers, and also discuss about I won't call it an award. I wouldn't want to call it an award, but recognition. So let's discuss this with Dr. Carl, Lester, myself, and let's get on a call together so we can discuss this and get our viewers to understand what we're talking about. But give me some time to plan it, because I've got to sit with Lester and the team and work on this, and then we're going to reach out to you. Before I say the goodbyes, I would hand you over back again to the studio. Let Lester either ask a question or say what he wants to say to you, after which I'll come back and say the byes to everybody. Over to you, Lester.
Thank you, Alvin. I mean, this was so inspiring. I have so many questions to
Aw.
ask Dr. Tania, but we don't have the time right now. So thank you, Dr. Simmons, for taking the time to be with us. They say that too many of us are not living their dreams because we are living our
Yeah.
fears. But you
Correct.
have overcome your fears at a very young age, and now you're living your dream. That's right.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I was going to address that actually in this interview. In our talk, is the fact that we all have fears. We all have fears. Sorry about that. We all have fears, and I think the one thing that we need to do is we need to acknowledge that we do have fears. I think one of my main fears is dying and not having an impact on the next generation. And so that's something that I've faced, and I work really hard, to make an impact in that way. And so someone told me that when you run towards your fears and you face your fears, then they really have no hold on the inside of you. So just think about that for a minute. And I know we're ending, but if any of the audience in any way, we all have those moments of fear, if they can acknowledge that fear and then run towards it and run away from it, face it, and then overcome it, then it's not a fear anymore. So that's a challenge to everyone listening, is embrace those fears and run towards them. Don't run away from them.
Exactly.
Super.
Catch the bull by the horns.
Correct. That's correct.
Fantastic. By the way, to viewers who are there now, who are watching you live, and the ones who haven't been there and were not in a position to watch us live, Dr. Tania, this has been recorded. We're going to be putting this on YouTube as well. And I will share the link with you. Do share this, because I think this was a very interesting talk we had today. I'd like a lot of people to listen to this and watch this video. So we're going to send it to you. I'll send it to you after we finish off with this live show. So I think now it's time for us to say bye. Yes, there's a lot more we want to ask you, but we'll save that for the next time. But what I want to tell everybody who's watching, not just the ones in India, the ones in Dubai, I think anybody and everybody all over the world, the pandemic has created havoc. It's still there. It's going to stay for some more time. So please, please, please take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Sanitize yourselves. Do whatever it takes. I know in the Americas, they've started going out without masks because they've really worked hard to get to where they are. And we need to do our little bit, not just depend on our frontline workers or the governments and things like this. We need to do our little bit. And that little bit is just taking care of our own selves. By doing that, we also
Be responsible.
be responsible. Thank you, Lester. It's good to wear your mask, when you're going out, or if you have people at home or wherever you are. Protect yourselves, because you're protecting your neighbors, your family, your friends, and everybody around you as well. So please take care, look after yourselves. Our heart reaches out to all of you in India, especially at this time. We're praying for all of you.
Yes.
Sure that you're going to fight this pandemic, and all of us in India are going to bounce back big time very soon. So with that, Dr. Tania, it's time for me and Lester sitting here and the rest of us on TNG to say bye to you, but this bye is only temporary. We were saying bye to you only this evening.
To see you soon.
We're going to be
Again.
having you back again soon. I'm going to be talking to you a lot more in future. I'm going to set up a small little group between Lester, myself, and a couple of other admins and moderators to discuss what I spoke about regarding the recognition. And I think we need to take this further, and let's discuss what we can do together as well going forward. I enjoyed your show or your talk.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I really enjoyed it.
I loved it. This was so fun. I mean, I think this is what it's supposed to be, right? Like, it's supposed to be fun and informative and educational and, all the good stuff, like all the good stuff. So that's what it's supposed to be. And it was today. I thoroughly had fun with both of you. And I was looking forward to it very much, to be honest. And so thank you so much for having me. And it was my pleasure. It was my honor. So thank you. Thank you for everyone who watched too. Please get in contact with me. I'd love to, if you're in need or if you need help, let me know. I'd love to help.
You'll also have to tell them the secret of being such a young, good-looking, gorgeous grandmother.
Laughing a lot. I think laughing and not stressing over the little things, at least not trying to, operating from a value of love. It helps a lot. Not keeping grudges, you know, those types of things, they make a difference. And I'm not perfect in that. I'm learning and I'm still growing in ways, but I'm not where I was, that's for sure. So yeah, just trying to keep yourself in a positive frame of mind is important.
So one thing before we end, we don't normally encourage anything to do with religion or politics on our groups, is because we don't want to get into any kind of issues or arguments and stuff. But just one question that was on my mind. No, it was a question on my mind actually since we started, and that I would like to ask you before you leave. Are you a
Yeah.
spiritual person?
Yeah, I am. I am a spiritual person. I'm going to say this. I'm going to come very brave and say this. I'm not a religious person. And what I mean is, I, I, I have a heart for God, and I love people. I have a heart for God and I love people. How should I say this? I have a heart for God. I love myself. I love people. And so the thing is that, you know, I'm not a religious person. I believe that your spirituality should be lived boldly. I believe that it should be, I love hearing other people's point of views. I love diversity. I love I love all that. I've been to many nations. I love different cultures. I embrace each culture, as it is. And I think we all have value. I think we all can learn from each other. I really do. And so, yeah, I mean, just love people, man. Keep it simple. It's not hard, you know?
Awesome. Well, I was
Simple
dying
is
to
the
ask you
word
that.
there.
I was dying to ask you that question. So I'm glad I asked you, because we all are spiritual. I mean, we're not, I mean, I don't go overboard. I'm not a very religious person per se, but I do believe there's a God who's watching over us. And for everybody out there, for those of you who are worried and really, in pain, and of course, you're getting upset and you question God sometimes as to why he's doing this. You know what? He's doing it.
Absolutely.
He's doing it for a reason, and he does everything in his time, as we believe. So have faith, keep positive. Being positive is the
Yes.
most important thing in our lives today, no matter
Yes.
what the situation is. So be positive, and believe me, God is taking care of everything. Leave the rest to him. Do our little bit and leave the rest to God. So there is a God, and I strongly believe in him for sure.
Mhm.
Lester, I think I've said my byes. It's time to you to say bye. And then Dr.
That was
Tania,
awesome.
before I stop, let me give you a flying kiss. Thank you. Love to you from Dubai. I'm going to have Lester to say the final byes, and then he's going to play the sponsors videos, after which we call it a show, and we call it the end of the show. That's from me to you.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank you.
I already said my byes, but then Alvin restarted it again. So I'm going to say my byes again. And Alvin, I hope you're not going to restart it again.
No, I want you to. I wanted you to end this evening today, Lester. That's why I'm handing it over to you.
This is so fun.
So, Dr. Tanya, your talk was very engaging, and I found myself captivated by every word that you said. So inspiring that it really touched my heart. Thank you so much for coming on the show and, talking to so many of us who are actually listening to what you're saying and who are inspired by your talk. Thank you once again, Dr. Simmons.
Oh, I felt that. Thank you so much, Lester. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I felt that being very genuine, and it's all in the power of our voice and recognizing that our voice has impact and identifying the power of our voice and being able to use it wisely, because our words matter. Your words matter. And so words are containers and they carry things. And so we can even see that in quantum physics, and we can go on and on. They have the ability to create and to spread life. And so thank you for that. That was really kind. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Beautiful.
You're
So that's
welcome.
it. I think now we've done, and I think now we've gone to 1 hour and 40 minutes. So from us here, from myself, from Lester, the studio, and everybody that's watching, thank you, Tanya, once again. Peace and love from all of us. Take care of yourself. Look after
You're
yourself.
welcome. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Lester, over to
Bye.
you. Play our sponsor videos, and then we quit. Thank you. Bye-bye.
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 Machine for you kind of music. Machine, we bring out the music in you. To be.